everybody, I'm Paula Brehm-Heeger, the library's Eva Jane Romaine Coombe Director, and we are shooting today from the Madisonville site of the future branch, right across the street from the current Madisonville branch. I wanted to kick things off today as we head into a presentation about this new space as it will look when we open it later this year. I wanted to make sure to have the chance to thank everyone in the community, and particularly here in Madisonville, for working with us, giving their input as we've designed and looked at what the new branch will do for the library and for the community. Thank you so much. We're so excited. Lots of good information today. And with that said, I'm going to kick things off to a person who needs no introduction. That is the manager of our current Madisonville branch, Terry Barnum. Terry?
Thanks, Paula. My name is Terry Barnum, branch manager of the Madisonville Branch Library. On behalf of the senior leadership team and the Madisonville branch staff you have all come to know and love, we want to thank you for your continuous support and engagement surrounding the new Madisonville Branch Library. When we embarked on this journey to re-envision the Madisonville Library in 2019, we were not certain what that meant exactly, aside from creating an accessible library. What we did know, however, was how much the community loved their library, and that the library was a social hub, or anchor if you will, of the Madisonville community. So that's where we started, with you all. Before any actionable plan was made, we wanted to first hear from the community on how you currently use the library. We held 3 community listening sessions, as well as 3 targeted focus groups, not to mention our day-to-day conversations with visitors, many of whom were unable to attend our formal sessions. It was through all these conversations that helped inform the library's vision and plan for developing a next-generation library for the Madisonville community. You all helped us better understand how our library currently supports the community, as well as envisioning how the library could enhance services in order to better meet the needs of everyone. Through these conversations, we learned the community is looking for a library that is accessible and inclusive, not just in accessing the building, but accessible services throughout. Flexible and inviting spaces for everyone to gather and congregate simultaneously, including delineated spaces. A youth-centric facility with engaging and dynamic programming opportunities, especially targeting our after-school crowd. Increased access to technology, including laptops and makerspace equipment. Access to a more comprehensive and dynamic collection, and a fully furnished meeting space for the community. Whether we are creating vibrant spaces for our after-school crowd or creating an environment for customers to browse the collection comfortably, it was apparent creating flexible spaces was a priority. As GBBN takes us through the design layout, we are hopeful everyone sees their needs are reflected in the design. But first, I will hand it off to our Customer Experience Manager, Justyn Rampa, for just a quick review on the facilities master plan, which led us to where we are now.
Thanks, Terry. Hello and welcome to our video presentation of the Madisonville Design Reveal. I am your Customer Experience Manager, Justyn Rampa, and here is the agenda for this presentation. I will talk briefly through the Facility Master Plan slides before turning it over to your design professional, Sean Cottengim from GBBN. I do want to acknowledge this design project here in Madisonville is driven by the Facility Master Plan, which is a concerted effort to make improvements across all of Hamilton County at each of our 41 locations. We spent all of 2019 developing the plan, talking to the community, talking with architects to get a comprehensive assessment of the state of our physical buildings and identify what we could do to improve the experience for all of you across the county who use our libraries each day. As you might imagine, the buildings vary, the needs vary, and the communities vary. And so, with the Facility Master Plan, which is presented in full on our website, it is a very holistic way to address those needs. We are very excited to be here today because we have made it to the Design Reveal presentation for your new Madisonville Branch Library. For reference, because I know we all have a lot of things going on and it can be hard to remember what we shared last year in our engagement session, here is an overhead map to show where your current location is and where the new location will be. Here is also some basic information about the project before I turn it over to Sean for a deeper dive into the design reveal. I also wanted to take a moment to acknowledge that we are here because of you. You use the Madisonville Library. You have talked with us over the past 3 years as part of this process. Your feedback was invaluable and is why we are this far along in this project today. Despite all of the disruption that we have faced over that time as a society or as individual humans, you have stayed engaged. We are so excited that we are going to be able to have a grand opening for your new Madisonville Branch Library later this year. So now I want to hand it over to Sean, who will talk us through the next few sections.
Hello, I'm Sean Cottengim with GBBN Architects, project architect on the Madisonville branch. I'm here today to tell you about the design process and how we took the vision of the library and put it into this branch for the community. Here at the Madisonville branch, you're going to encounter flexible design, promote enjoyment through a range of activities, build connections in spaces that are inclusive and accessible to all, and create community through elevated, innovative, and overlapping programs. This guides a vision that the Madisonville branch will enhance the community through digital inclusivity. With a focus on emerging technology, the branch will provide hands-on learning opportunities that inspire creativity and collaboration. The branch will be a place for minds of all kinds to connect, create, and collaborate. We also need to take into account how the branch appears. What is the experience going to be like, and how is that expressed in the space? This aligns with the Cincinnati Library's recently released brand attributes of curiosity and social contact. So how does this all work with the design process, with the design team and the library team? This diagram is a kind of a playful way to talk about all the different experiences you may have at a library, from quiet experiences to loud or dynamic experiences, solo experiences to group experiences, and the technology pieces that might support those experiences. So what the library needs to be able to do is accommodate for all these types of events or amenities, but if you'd made a room for each particular type of experience, what you would encounter is that you're going to run out of space. There's not enough room within the library to make a specific room for each activity. The other thing that might happen is that would be a barrier. People wouldn't know that they have access to that technology or that amenity, or they may not even see it. So one of the things we wanted to do is provide that flexibility along with definition and accommodate for the transition from morning to afternoon, or Monday through Sunday, or even now versus 2025. The library needs to be able to have flexibility and present all of its amenities back to the community. One architectural move that we looked at to try to do this was to devise a way to have access, discovery, and storage, particularly of the technology elements. What you see here is an image of a roll-up door that kind of provides half of a space that opens up into the marketplace and really allows that activity to come to life. It is also a storage element, so instead of just a closet, it allows all the pieces of that activity to live inside that cubby, but then when it's opened up, it's accessible, it's on view, and it can kind of create that space out in front for people to encounter. Taking that more broadly into the plan that you see here, the spine is what we ended up calling this. So this is an architectural element, and if you think about the way that you might encounter a good book when you peruse the shelves of the library, this is sort of the bookshelf of technology. So the spine encircles the marketplace and helps define the marketplace, but it also presents and stores these technology elements throughout the space. The plan here shows that there's the marketplace, like we said. There's also, it's flanked on the other side of the spine by the children's area, the teens area, the adults area, the community room, and then the staff space, all using that threshold of the spine to help kind of define the territories of each program. Zooming in a bit more, you see a picture here of that spine element. On the left is open up and in use. Someone is doing a demonstration, there's a work cart, there is a discussion or activity in place. Next to that is one of the bays, but closed down so that you can kind of still see what's going on inside or the storage of that activity, but it's not closed off from view, it's not inaccessible. Zooming in again to the plan here, we see the marketplace with access from Wetzel. Also, the other red arrow shows you the access from the parking lot side. So the marketplace really has two main entrances, both from parking and from the street side. Again, the children's area to the north, the teens area to the northeast, and the marketplace is that big social touch point. Looking at the lower half of the plan, we still see that anchor of the front entry on Wetzel. Into the marketplace, we see adjacencies to the adults area and the community room, which is really meant to be a larger meeting space that can be rented out in business hours as well as potentially after hours use. So here we see a view from that entry off of Wetzel looking south into the marketplace with the spine in full display mode. All the bays are opened up and the activities are taking place. You also see that this is your social contact touch point within the marketplace. People are meeting, people are kind of taking a breath when they enter the space and surveying everything. You have a view of almost all the spaces from the marketplace, and a lot of the activity that happens is right there within that space. Off to the back of the image, we see the adult area, and off to the left of the image, we see the other entry from the parking lot side of the development. If we turn just a bit, we would see the children's area. So to the right of the image, we see the information desk. That would be at the end of the entry to the parking lot, off to the right of the image, and straight into the children's area. What you'll see here is an extension of that spine. It doesn't hold any technology elements, but it is a display and seating architectural element within the space that helps define between the marketplace and the children's area. One of the things that we wanted to be aware of as a design team was the ability to have young children in the children's space, but have caregivers or adults or parents elsewhere in the space and be able to feel that they have view of the children and still some definition of what belongs to them and where they should be, and not have it just be a room with a door that everyone is sort of locked inside. So this is one of the elements of the spine that helps define the threshold between marketplace and children's area. Heading back to the south of the plan, we see the same threshold to the adult area. We see bookshelves, we see an activity room to the left, again some of that display seating here in the foreground, as well as casual seating, computers, and quiet study pods that are provided to the space. Here we see the teens area. Again, we have the entry to the parking lot side to the right, and they are provided with many of the same amenities that the other areas have, as well as a gaming area and a study pod for their own.
Thanks, Sean. Here is the timeline for the project as we understand it at this moment in time. Understanding, of course, that the pandemic's impact on supply chain could alter this timeline. We're also very excited to share this QR code with you that will allow you to take a virtual tour through the design shared here with you as part of this presentation. Please feel free to reach out to me, Justyn Rampa, with any ideas, comments, and questions using this form you can find on our website. Also, your Madisonville branch manager, Terry Barnum, and his team will be very happy to talk through this presentation with you. Thank you again for taking the time to watch this presentation, and please stay up to date on this project by visiting our website. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you at the new Madisonville Branch Library later this year.